Hello, my friends. I hope you're all doing well. It is my first day of holiday leave. I had a sleep in. It was fabulous. I'm going to take it easy today. I'm going to catch up on watering all of my plants. This is going to be the last watering before we go on holiday. And I thought that I would just take you around and give you, I guess, a tour of all of my indoor plants. Most of my indoor plants, I'm bound to miss a few just because there is so many. I am not going to rush through this because it's my first day of leave. I'm just going to take it nice and slow and easy, and it's going to be a calm and peaceful watering. Just going to rip it out. Where's my spade? I'm just going to start with this one here because it's right here and the kitchen sink is right here. This one is what is this? I was about to say philodendron. It's absolutely not a philodendron, it's an alocasia. It's an alocasia regal shields and it grows really well. I don't worry about this plant at all. It's one of those alocasias that just, you can trust it to do its own thing. Like some alocasias are really sensitive, and the moment that you don't water it or you put it next to too much light, it'll just flop out on you. Not this regal shields. It is the alocasia that I worry about the least, just because I know that it can do its own thing. These leaves are just magical. They have a nice sheen to them, and they're dark leafed, and they're just beautiful. Look at it. Today is Wednesday and we're leaving on Friday. We're going to do a road trip to visit Tim's mum in regional Victoria for Christmas. These road trips are always fun. We go nursery hopping. We're gonna go to cactus country. And we usually come home with loads of plants and pots. We're only going to be gone for about a week, but because it's summer and some of these plants need bi-weekly watering, my dad is going to come over and water some of these plants for us. This is what I use to give my plants a little bit of extra help. I just use these on the indoor plants, not on the cacti and succulents. So this is about 15 litres of water mixed with the GT Foliage Focus. And this water pump idea I actually nicked from YouTuber Oh The Places You'll Grow. It is the smartest idea, honestly, especially if you're pre-mixing a lot of stuff. You can just get like a really big vessel. This just sits on top. You can fill like your bottles, your smaller watering cans. It just makes life so much easier. Wow, this is heavy. Whoa. Oh my gosh. Yeah. This is my Philodendron glorious. It's the largest philodendron that I have. As you can see, it's gonna need a chop and extend fairly soon, which will be my very first chop and extend. So maybe I'll do a whole video on that. Let's give you some water. Yeah, this moss pole got fairly crunchy, so it's good that she's getting some water now. Come on, I don't have time for this. I'm like right down on the floor, but I think this might be the only way that I can kind of fit the entire plant in one shot. We're in my office space at the moment and it's quite small. There's not enough room to kind of like back the camera up and then like get a whole shot of the philodendron. So I think this is the only way we can do it. This is like the most impressive indoor plant that I've grown, really. This light here is a grow light, and I'm going to replace this. I'm replacing it because it is one of those ugly red and blue grow lights. Yeah, I don't love this in terms of home decor. I don't. And so I ordered these new ones from Amazon. Ooh, do I want a par 20 or a par 30? Maybe I want a par 30. I'll link them in the description, but basically these just have a nice warm yellow glow to them like a normal house light. And in fact, we're gonna test it out together. Oh wow, that's pretty hefty. It comes with a cap. Oh, that's cute. This is a par 30 light. I honestly don't know the science behind lights, but it's stronger than a par 20. That's all I know. I'm gonna remove that. I don't know if you can see that. It is a lot heavier. Ooh, yeah, that's not gonna stay up. It's a little bit droopy, but I'm gonna sort it out later. Let's see how this goes. That's very bright. Hang on, let me just test out the par 20. Par 20 is like half the size. Let's turn that off. Look at the difference between the two. Oh, that's way better. Way lighter. Ah, that's better. That is better. I mean, it looks kind of a bit blown out on camera. I really wanted this ZZ plant to bush out, and this spot doesn't get a huge amount of light. I mean, there's a window right there, but we don't, you know, it's a bit of a dark spot, and it's doing really well. This is like twice the size of what it was when I first bought it. Anyway, we'll see how it goes with this light. I love the look of this light so much better. It just fits in the home so nicely. And look, it's hitting the other plants as well. How nice. All right, moving on to another spot. Oh wait, I have to water everything here. This isn't just a tour, I'm watering everything. I have to remember that. This one that you're seeing here is a, whatchamacallit, it's a columnia gloriosa purpurea. It's a beautiful plant. This one's not looking so good because I actually don't know. I don't know why this one's not doing well, but what I've done is taken some cuttings from this plant and I'm gonna start all over again. This one just started losing a lot of leaves and the growth was really small as well. So yeah, we're gonna start again with this plant. I freaking love this plant. I think this, when it's doing well, it's one of my favorite house plants. They have these incredible tubular orange flowers that actually look like goldfish. Very gorgeous when it's doing well, but I will be starting again. So this is a Song of India, a Dracaena reflexa, I think is the botanical name. 100% it was inspired by the one in Benji Plant's videos. It's nowhere near as large, it's nowhere near as mature, but you know what, you have to start somewhere. And this was the biggest option that they had at Flower Power. I haven't been able to find this bigger Song of India at any other nursery, so this is what we're starting with. There does seem to be a little bit of mealy. Oh, I should probably treat that. You got to be really careful because it seems to all be in the new growth in the center there. Okay, just treating this with isopropyl alcohol. Oh God, I'm gonna have to keep an eye on this one. There's some nice little cozy spots for mealy in this plant. You may remember from the last houseplant tour that I used to have a bungalow palm in this pot. So I used to have 2 bungalow palms and they just got scale. It was impossible to get rid of. They were just completely infested. And every time I treated it, the scale would just come back like in hordes. And I don't have time for that. So I had to get rid of those palms, unfortunately, but hopefully this will grow nice and big. I would love to see this take over my home office. All right, so I did just stop to have a spot of lunch, and now we're gonna move onto the plants in the living room. Wow, just spilling water everywhere. Okay, so hello, here we go. This is really dry, which is why in the mirror you're seeing it run down the side of the moss pole instead, just there. There we go, it's soaking it up nicely. Yeah, this here is a philodendron dark lord. It does this a lot. Sometimes the leaves just get a little bit stuck. I believe that this was probably due to it being in a really hot spot. Actually, I don't know. But for the most part, these are growing really nicely. I love the way this plant looks when it's mature. This one's got a bit of a way to go, but yeah, otherwise looking pretty okay, I think. This one here is another Columnia gloriosa purpurea. The leaves are like a very fuzzy dark grey green. I love this one. And you can see that there's some flowers that are gonna pop up. This one is doing a little better than the one in the office. So yeah, I just water this one by hand. This is a philodendron esmeraldens. It's not doing so well at the moment. It is right next to this window right here. I am trying to protect it a little bit by putting more plants between it and the window, and hopefully that's going to protect it a little bit more. It's just in this really heavy set pot, so I don't want to move it. I'm just patiently waiting for this to mature because its leaves are just so beautiful. Here's another leaf that is stuck. Oh, what do I do? If anyone's got any tips on how to get a leaf to release itself, let me know, please. This one here is my philodendron narrow, aka jungle boogie, which is a very fun name. Another leaf that's having issues getting unstuck. I really don't want to just rip it out. Again, if you have any tips, and I think it's growing in inflorescence. I think that's what this is, because this is the new leaf. That must be the inflow. This one is pretty hardy, actually. It's right up against the window. It seems to do okay with the harsh sun. So yeah, I mean, it does look a little bit dehydrated, this one here in particular, this leaf, but I'm just gonna leave it in this position because honestly, there's nowhere else to put it. I like it. I like my jungle boogie a lot. This one is another philodendron dark lord, but instead of a moss pole, I've got it on a stick. And there's a new leaf that's growing. You can see that there's just a little bit of burn there, I think. It's pretty hardy. It can withstand sun, but I think just this summer in particular, the sun is very strong and the temperatures are high. Alocasia Melo. Still haven't figured out how to pronounce it. I love these leaves. I mean, look at them. This plant has been on my wish list forever, and I'm so glad that I got it. This can come off though. That's gross. Here's a ponytail palm here. These are so slow growing. I've been tempted many times to just get a massive one from Facebook Marketplace because I just want a really big one. I want that satisfaction right now. I don't really care about the patience to grow it and nurturing it and blah, blah, blah. I just want the immediate satisfaction. They're good plants though. I do like ponytail palms a lot. I like the look of them. And as you can see, this one's got little kind of like little bits of growth that are branching off. So that's good. That'll be really nice when it matures. And the thing that is last but not least is this little philodendron tortum, which I love. Yeah, it's still tiny at the moment, but just give it some time. Just give it some time. here are all of the aeoniums that used to sit outside that were getting smashed by the summer heat. So now they live indoors until the weather calms down just a little bit. Aeonium medusa. No idea what this one is. This is a pink witch that needs dried leaves removed. Another aeonium. I think this one is a short black, and this is the aeonium sunburst that got absolutely smashed by the summer sun. Right, so this is Alocasia sinuata. These two leaves are doing great. This newest leaf, however, I'm wondering if this is just getting hammered by the summer sun. I know that alocasias love to be in shade a little bit, and I think I put it in this spot when it was just at the end of winter heading into spring, and you know, it gave me this beautiful new leaf, which was fantastic, but now the leaf that has come out in summer kind of looks like the growth of it has just been stunted. It's just a bit strange. So I don't know, maybe I'll just move that temporarily. Yeah, it looks pretty not great. This one is a tiny philodendron. I actually really don't know. I think I got this one as a very mini plant from Flower Power. The newest leaf that comes out is like bright orange, so I'm wondering if it's like a philodendron Prince of Orange or philodendron Red Sun. I don't know. I really don't know. That looks pretty happy here. It's growing nicely this growing season. Now, this is what is this? This is it's not a whale fin. I bought it because it looks like a whale fin, but it's not a Sansevieria whale fin. This one I think is known as a Sansevieria green mirror, and I bought it from Flower Power, and it looks like Flower Power are the only ones that sell Sansevieria green mirror. So I don't know what's going on there. I did like this plant. I'm kind of falling out of love with it a little bit. I mean, there's some new growth on the back here, but I mean, the leaves are really pretty. They're really, really, really pretty. I had this image in my head of growing a whale fin that was like massive. That's just not happening with this plant. And the thing with Sansevierias is that they kind of like will just grow in like all sorts of odd directions. It's really hard to control. Like you need to keep unpotting it and chopping them up and then rearranging them how you like it. And I just don't have time for that. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this plant. I don't know. The leaves are quite pretty though. I mean, look at the patterning on that. Look at it. This one does sit under a grow light because it's kind of recessed behind a whole bunch of other things. So I have it behind this green light. Oh, hello there. And it's just got a grow light bulb from IKEA. I might replace this with the yellow light because this white light is terrible in terms of getting that moody feeling in your home. This one is a Ficus Benjamini or something like that. I'll put the name for you on the screen. Very long, narrow leaves. Yeah, I like it. And there's nothing more to say about that. This is an Alocasia black velvet, and I do love this plant, I do, but I also have a bit of a love-hate relationship with it. All of my Alocasia are just going mad with inflorescence at the moment, which just I find so frustrating because it just takes energy away from growing the leaves. This black velvet though has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 leaves, which is quite impressive for an Alocasia. I know. However, I skipped one watering. I water this bi-weekly. I skipped one watering and this started happening. Really frustrating. I just don't know when it's going to grow another leaf. I don't know. It is very pretty though. This is the latest leaf. For a while there, it started growing like these really massive leaves. And then the latest leaf was this tiny little thing. So I don't know what's going on there. It's still very pretty though. I mean, look at that. All right, this is a Kentia palm. There's some crappy bits on some of the older, like leaves, fronds, I don't know, I can't remember what you call these, but yeah. And that was just during a time when I didn't take care of this plant. At first I thought it might have been a bug, but it's not something that can just come off the plant. When you do look after it, these are generally very good indoor plants to have. Here's a good looking one. Kentia palms do really well in low light with low water. Yeah, I actually have two. Here's the other one. Yes, this kind of like just stays here behind the couch. Again, these don't get bugs like the bungalow palm did. Haven't ever seen a bug, whether that be scale or mealy, on either of my Kentia palms, which I think is fabulous. So there you go. I have a lot of plants. You know what? I almost forgot to show you, hang on a moment, this, from the top shelf, this is my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. Yeah, that's that. And I have another orchid. In fact, I have another couple of orchids. I'm becoming an orchid person. I water these a little bit differently, which I'll just show you in a minute. But yeah, oh, there's a new baby leaf on the mini monstera. Oh, I love that. This looks like it does pretty well. It sits on the top of this shelf, so it does absorb quite a bit of the morning sun. Yeah, it seems to be doing okay. This here is a, what do we call it? Rhipsalis. It's still in its original pot from the nursery. I didn't ever think that this would be my kind of plant, but I see pictures of like really mature ones that have like heaps and heaps of leaves just hanging, and it looks so beautiful. Anyway, I've got a long way to go before my plant looks anything like that. But yeah, here's to hoping. These are very expensive, which is why I'm starting really small. There's a cactus up there too. Actually, I should probably water this one and water that one there. While I am here, I will also show you this Alocasia scalprum. Now this went through a really tough time just recently. It had lost all of its leaves and it was only giving me inflorescence. So this leaf here is fairly new. Gosh, this is so pretty. And there's another new leaf here. It really struggled for a while there because all it was giving me was inflorescence and it was taking a lot of energy from the plant. This was sitting next to a window, so I moved it further inside the apartment and it seems to be doing a lot better. In the winter, I have to move this closer to the window, and as soon as the minute it turns summer, it seems to hate that too. So when this plant does well, it is one of my favorite plants. I mean, look at her. Why? That is botanical magic right there. Just really quickly, I'm going to show you how I water my orchids. So basically I do, wow, okay, just spilled water everywhere. Basically I do a bottom water. I kind of water the pots themselves. And that makes sure that the insides of the pot are all watered. And then I'm just getting water into the bucket itself. I think that should be enough. So I'll usually leave the orchids soaking for about 1 to 2 hours, and I'll probably do this once a week in the summer or thereabouts, and probably every couple of weeks in the winter. Come on. Ah, there we go. I bought this from Bunnings as an unknown. It was like Philodendron Special or Philodendron Rare or something like that. It's a Philodendron verrucosum. I know this from the green veination, the beautiful backs. It is getting a little fried being next to the window. Again, I have nowhere to put it, so it's staying here for now, and maybe I'll just close the blinds a little more frequently. Yeah, not looking too crash hot, but it does have some new growth right here, which is very, very sweet. That's all I really have to say about this plant. This is fairly new, by the way. If you're a plant person who cares about kind of like interior design, it's a little annoying to be constantly moving your plants everywhere because, you know, you find it spot seasonally. Really, to get the best out of the plant, because we get such an extreme in summer, you really have to be prepared to move the plant around. So maybe, yeah, what I'll end up doing is actually moving this plant elsewhere. I think I'm going to have to if it's going to survive, because it's not looking good. Okay, I'm not going to go through every single plant here, but I will point out my faves. This seems to be a little bit of a temporary spot for new plants that we just kind of like get, or, you know, come in the post from Cactus Anonymous. This euphorbia here, I do really love, and I've forgotten the name of it, but the tag is underneath. I shan't lift it up now. I'll just put it on the screen later. I do love this crassula. It's very sweet. It's got little flowers growing. Baby dragon toes. In fact, we have a lot of baby dragon toes because of the dragon toes we have out in the garden. This euphorbia here, again, I don't ever remember the names of these kinds of plants. So what I'm going to do is pop it on the screen for you. We have a Cereus Ming thing. Oh, and this one. This one's getting a lovely little flower here too, so I can't wait to see what color that's going to be. I can't remember the name. It's a Gymnocalycium of some sort, surely. What's this one again? Again, I forgot, but the name. I'll put it on the screen. Something or other. This one here is a euphorbia of some sort. I do love my euphorbia. You can probably tell that. Euphorbia obesa. I have no idea what aloe this is, but I sure do love it. And I really like the top dressing I chose for this as well. Oh, look at this. I have forgotten the botanical name for this. It's like Mammillaria boscu. It's supposed to, the original form of this is a really fuzzy, it's the fuzzy Mammillarias. This is the monstrose version, which is wild, and we call this one Fred. Fred's a little bit difficult to water. Fred may need a bottom water. I think this is a Copiopoa. I think. Astrophytum. And we have some crested Fred Ives, which I just got from a nursery that I need to put outside pretty soon. This is another one. I just have no idea where I'm going to put them. I almost forgot, right next to the Christmas tree is this Dracaena marginata, and I almost forgot about it because I don't really care about it anymore. I don't know. I don't think it gets the best light where it is, and it's just, there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different kind of like trunks there. I just don't know if I really love this plant as much as I used to. All right, friends, we have one last place to look, and that is the bedroom. All right, welcome to the bedroom. I'm not going to show you all of the bedroom because that just feels a little weird to me. This right here is a golden cane palm. A golden cane palm that was a little bit of a rescue from Bunnings, to be honest. I mean, it hasn't looked its best like ever. I have recently just gotten rid of all of the dead fronds. Are they fronds? I swear to God, I'm probably just embarrassing myself if I'm totally wrong about that. I'm gonna just look it up before I give you incorrect information. It is a frond. I was right, thank goodness. Okay, so I've gotten rid of all the dead fronds. It's suffered from like inconsistent watering and things like that. I will keep my eye on it and we will see how this goes, but I think it's looking pretty good. It does have a few crispy tips, but otherwise, look, she's surviving. She's surviving. I would love to see her grow tall and like take over the room a little bit. This gorgeous thing here is an Alocasia zebrina. I've heard people pronounce it zebrina, but I would have no idea why you'd call it that. When I first got this plant, I didn't think much of it, but now I absolutely love it. Look at how giant these leaves are. They're so amazing. This is another one that just seems to keep on giving as well. Go zebrina. This one here is a caladium. I got it as a little thing from IKEA, and look at how much it's grown. It's wild, and I do love this like deep red color. It just seems to keep pushing leaves, and there'll be another one within a week, I reckon. This one, I believe, is a string of nickels. It's endemic to Australia, and it grows pretty lush when you take care of it. It's a succulent, and I actually give this a lot of water, a lot more water than what my other succulents require. And look at her grow. And here we have a monstera that's not doing well at all. These are the two newest leaves, and they look so bad. I'm going to assume that there's been root rot. I haven't had a chance to unpot this plant and take a look at the roots, and I probably won't until after Christmas. So that's just gonna have to stay like that, at least for the next little while. Over to the windowsill now. You may remember this one as one of the rainbow cacti that was pulled out of the Russell pot. I think it's looking better, but you know, I'm still also waiting for the day that it's just gonna fall apart. It's still just a little bit, a little bit squishy. The other one is here, and this one is doing way better, I think. Yeah, it's already looking much, much better, so there's hope for that one. Morning friends, it's Friday morning and we are just about to head off on our little road trip. We have put all of the plants that my dad is going to need to water on the counter just to make it super easy for him. Plus he'll be doing all of the moss poles as well. So these are the ones that are going to need that little bit of water while we're away. Well, we got to get going, so I'm going to be vlogging the road trip because we're going to be visiting nurseries in cactus country, and you're going to get to see all of that. I don't know if I'm going to be getting that video out before the new year, so if I don't see you before then, have a Merry Christmas, have a Happy New Year, and thank you so much for tuning in my first year on YouTube. I really appreciate it. I guess I'll see you next year if I don't get another video out before then. I'll just say I'll see you in the next video. Bye!